What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Phoenix, and today we're going to talk Euro 2020 or Euro 2021, whichever you want to call it. It's supposed to be played last summer, but is instead being played this summer. Just as this video is going live, the first game has kicked off between Turkey and Italy. So we're going to go ahead and predict the winner of this tournament. So let's get into it. So here we go. This is a list of all of the groups and all the teams that are involved. The first group, Group A, is Switzerland, Turkey, Wales, and Italy. So as I was just saying, the first game has kicked off between two of these teams, between Turkey and Italy. So I think that this game is going to end up with Italy winning, Turkey going into last place, and I think it's going to stay like that through the rest of this group. The biggest thing that I'm looking at is between Switzerland and Wales. Switzerland is a pretty good team, but you can never discount Wales. However, I don't think Wales is going to be able to pull through automatically in getting into the knockout stage just based off of winning the group or finishing second in the group. So that's how we're going to end with group letter A. Moving on to Group B. Don't think we have to really say a whole lot there. Now, the next fight is between the Danish midfield and Hradecky for Finland. I think that the Danish midfield comes out on top, and they end up finishing second in that group, putting Finland in third. Now, Group C, which in my opinion is the weakest of the groups. You have the Dutch winning the group, for sure. That Dutch team is incredible compared to the rest of this team. They're not as good as Belgium or Italy or Spain, France, and Germany or stuff like that, but I think they're relatively good. North Macedonia, unfortunately, don't think that you guys are gonna do anything. Now this leaves the Ukraine and Austria in second and third. I think the Austrians are going to be able to pull it out, and which puts Ukraine in third place there, with still a chance to go through. Moving on to Group D. England, I don't think that England's going to win the Euros. I don't think they're even going to come close. I think they're getting knocked out first or second round, most likely first round. But I think they're going to easily win this league, or this group, excuse me. Croatia, I think, is going to finish second. I don't think... These might switch. England and Croatia might flip-flop, and England might finish second. Croatia might win the group. It all really depends on how that game goes head-to-head. Scotland, I think, has a better shot than the Czech Republic does. But again, I think it's going to end up like this. And either Scotland or Czech Republic is going to finish third and fourth, and then Croatia and England are going to either flip-flop. This is how, right now, I think this game is going to finish. I might change that once I see the first set of games between the four teams. But we move on to now Group E with Spain, Poland, Sweden, and Slovakia. Slovakia, unfortunately, I think is going to end last in that group. I don't think that their team is strong enough to compete with Spain and Poland. Again, this group comes down to whoever wins this matchup, and I think that's the first matchup of the game, or of the group, excuse me, is between Poland and Spain. I think Spain's going to narrowly edge it out, putting Poland in second place. Yeah, I think Spain. No, you know, I'm changing that. I think Lewandowski's going to put away 3 in that game, and Spain is only going to get 2. So I think Poland's going to narrowly edge that out. In addition, they're both going to beat Sweden, and they're both going to beat Slovakia, which puts Poland then at 9 points and Spain at 6 points. But that's there. Now we move into my personal favorite group, in the group of death, with Portugal, France, Germany, and Hungary. Don't think we have to take any time deciding this. Sorry, Hungary. Unfortunate. Portugal, I think, is going to have a tough time against these two teams. I think they might get a single point out of these two games. Maybe, but I most likely think Portugal is going to end up on 3 points. I think they're going to lose to both France and Germany, but beat Hungary. This game, as much as it hurts me to say, I think Germany is going to finish second. I think N'Golo Kante, I don't think anybody can dislike N'Golo Kante, and I think that they're going to I don't think anybody's going to have any trouble with this. Looking at a couple of Instagram and Twitter pictures from Mbappe and Benzema, they are the strike force of France. They're looking pretty calm and comfortable in this. But now that puts us in a position to predict the 4 best third place teams, which is tough because as much of a guess as this section is of, who's going to win the group, you can pretty much figure it out. Just by logic basis, you can say, okay, this team and this team are going to win. They're going to lose to this team, whatever. But this is absolute guessing. I have to get these 6 teams here correct in addition to guessing how many points they get. But just off the bat, Portugal is a team that I think probably should move on. However, I don't think they're going to end up, because I think they're only going to end up on 3 points. Just being in that group, it's really hard to get out of a group like this unless you finish first or second. Because if you finish third, you're going to lose. You're most likely going to have lost 2 games. And then the max points you can get is only 3. And I think like a team, like Wales or Finland might end up with 3 or 4. Speaking of that, with those 2, I'm going to put both of those through. Ukraine's another one that I think might finish on 3 or 4 points. Now, Scotland, Sweden, or Portugal. I think Scotland out of this group here has the best chance of getting out. I think they might get 4 points here. They might beat Czech Republic and draw with Croatia, or, something might happen where they beat the Czech Republic and they beat Croatia. But I think Scotland might actually be that last team that gets through out of the third place teams. And now we move to the knockout stages. And this is everybody here. So the first game that we have to predict here is Belgium versus Wales. I don't think it's going to be that big of a contest. Sorry, Wales. Same with this Italy-Austria game. I think Italy's a very, very strong team. However, I don't think that they're the Italy of old, if you know what I mean. If you pay any attention to the sport, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't think they're anywhere close to that team. But I think they're good enough to beat Austria pretty handily. Moving down the line, we get France against the Ukraine. Don't think it's a question there for France. Croatia and Spain. My head says Spain, but I think Croatia might have that drive. I don't think they're going to end up pushing past Spain, though. I think Spain might end up getting that France and Spain matchup in this in the quarterfinals here. Moving on down to the bottom half of the bracket, we have Poland and Finland. Lewandowski can easily get through that game by his own. England and Germany. Now, this is the game that might put England out of the Euros. This is the one that might... See, I think if Croatia and England swap places and England finish second in their group, I think they'll be able to beat Spain. And that would put them against France, which I think is why I said earlier that they would lose first or second round. It really all depends on where they end up in their group. If they finish first, they play Germany, who's not going to be able to beat France in their group, which would put England against Germany. Germany wins that game. If England plays Spain, I think they win that game and then move on to France in the quarters. So, unfortunately, I don't see them getting past the quarterfinal at all. But in this one, I don't think they're going to get past Germany. I've looked at the German team. It looks like a very, very strong kind of 1.5 team. It's not their top. It's not everybody on the top, but it's not none of the top, if you know what I'm saying. It's a lot of kind of, they have half of the team is their like first string. Everybody's there, their top tier, top 11 players or top, 23. And then there's a couple people on that team that aren't necessarily top tier for German football. But I think that they're easily going to hand England a loss in this round. The Dutch and the Scottish. The Netherlands ends up winning that game, putting them against, I'm going to say against Denmark in the corners. Now moving back up to the top, we have Belgium and Italy. Like I was saying earlier, Italy is a very, very good team. However, that Belgian midfield is incredible. Hazard, Lukaku, De Bruyne, Thorgan Hazard, Dries Mertens, Courtois.
A few moments later.
Tielemans, Carrasco, Witsel, Chadli, Moussa Dembele, Company if he's still playing.
Much later.
Munier in the back, Mignolet in goal, Michy Batshuayi, Boyata. The list just continues to go on. But now we move on to the next game, France and Spain. France. Easily going to win this. Like I was saying earlier, their strike force is incredible. So, I mean, their backline's great. They have a good goalkeeper in Lloris, Umtiti and Varane, or Langlet, or Laporte. And center in the midfield, you got Pavard on one side, you have Mendy on the other. Your midfield, Pogba, Conte. It keeps going on. You attack Griezmann, Mbappe, Ben Yedder, Benzema. It's just not fair. You got Coman in there as well, playing in Germany. Speaking of Germany, we're going to move down to Poland and Germany. Again, I think this one might be a little harder. I don't know if people like Lucas Piszczek are playing in Kamil Glik. If you know the answer to that, please leave that down in the comments of players like Lucas Piszczek and Glik. Piszczek has retired from club duty, but I don't know if he's going to play. This is like his last hurrah or not. I'm not sure. So if you know, please let me know down in the comments. But I think Germany's going to end up pulling this one through, and I think they're going to end up playing. This is tough. I think the Netherlands pull it out. I think the Dutch team, Van Dijk is going to hold strong in the back, Sillissen in goal. I think they're going to be able to stop Yusuf Poulsen and Eriksen, and Delaney as well in that midfield. But moving back up, Belgium and France. I think you guys might be able to figure out now who I think is going to end up winning this tournament. I think they're going to have to go through Germany to do so. I think, as much as it hurts me to do, as much as it pains me to not take Germany after they just won the under-21 Euros against Portugal. Excuse me, I just blanked on that for a second. Last week, as much as it really, really hurts me to do, I'm going to have to do it. But there it is. France wins Euro 2020, Euro 2021, however you want to call it. I don't think that there's a team that can stop the strike force of France. They have way too many players that are in there that are going to do well. But that's going to do it for me today. Take care and have a good rest of your afternoon, your Friday afternoon, and watch some Euros. Let's see if I'm right. But for now, take care. Peace out.